Hey guys, welcome back to Faro Iron & Customs. I'm Michael, and we're back in the shop working on the Volkswagen. And if you'll notice, I have the car about 2 foot off the floor right now. If you'll remember correctly, when Glenn and I went to the salvage yard and got a couple steering columns to decide what column I want to use in the car, I sat in the car and decided that it was really tight. I mean, my head is like hitting the ceiling. I'm crunched up in there like that. And I'm a big guy. Even if I wasn't as big as I am, I don't think I will be able to sit in the car comfortably, maybe. But along the way, I decided that I was going to cut the chassis and move the chassis. It's always been a consideration. I kind of wanted to cut the chassis and turn it on its side so that the body would sit lower. Unfortunately, that wouldn't give me any more foot room underneath the dash. It wouldn't give me any more headroom to the top of the car. Do you remember there's been 12 inches taken out of the body of this car, 6 inches out of the roof and 6 inches out of the body. So it's been chopped 6 inches and sectioned 6 inches. So, it's a short car. Also, on a Volkswagen, the pan sits, the body bolts to the pan, so the pan would go down in the floor. And I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. But this afternoon, I've just been kind of setting up to get ready to weld this, and that's what we're going to do this week, and that's what's going to be in this video. All right, guys. Actually, I'm going to turn this fan back on. Well, no, I'll wait. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. If you'll notice the chassis rails, the way we built them, it runs parallel with the floor, and I was going to put the floor from the rocker panel across. And there's just not going to be enough room in there by the time I get a seat in there, even though it's going to be a bomber style seat with, even if it's 1 inch of cushion, it's too much. So what I have done, I've got a piece of 2x3. I know you can see it right there. I've jacked it up and it's underneath the chassis. So we're going to weld it at this end and weld it at that end. And then we're going to lock the center section out of this chassis. That's going to hold the chassis straight. Yeah, turn this fan on, guys. It's not that hot this afternoon. It is murder humid though. So that's what this video is going to. We're going to get into it here in just a little bit. I will make a note, a couple things. I got out here and worked yesterday in the shop. The shop is still a disaster, but I worked on the rotary table a little bit. Started cleaning it up. I think it's going to clean up nicely. I've actually used the Carolina bandsaw that come with the mill when I got the mill, and it's working good. I do need to get the cooling system working on it, and also I'm going to have to see about getting one of these because this is not holding. It holds high, but whenever you get low, it doesn't. Another thing, like I said, the shop's a mess, but I am cleaning up in here. I finally got the hood hung. We've been talking about hanging the hood for... How long have I been talking about hanging the hood? Well over a year. So it's on the wall. So little by little, we're going to do some cleaning. We're also going to be adding on to the shop later on whenever it gets cooler. It's too hot for me to be out in the sun, especially after I've been out working in it all day at work. So, like I said, I'm going to stop for right now, and in the morning, or not in the morning, but either tomorrow or Tuesday, we'll get back on this and start getting this chassis ready so we can make some floor pans. I am stoked on that, and I'm really ready to show y'all how I'm planning on doing that. So, see y'all tomorrow. Okay guys, what you see me do was jump around from end to end. All I'm trying to do is keep the metal from warping. I have a clamp on one end down there. I've got it lined up where I want it, and it's just run parallel with the existing chassis. So I'm going to burn it in good and hot. I got it tacked on all four corners with about a 1-inch weld. I'm going to get it welded in. Then we're going to do the other side, and we'll come back, and maybe tomorrow, but just as soon as I get to something a little different, we'll show you something different. Okay guys, that's definitely it for today. I got it tacked hard in all four corners. Once we get the old frame cut out of it and get the body up off of it, we'll probably have to pull the motor and transmission and even tear the frame down. I'm going to box in all of these areas that I'm welding, do gusseting, boxes, whatever I think that it's going to take to make it super strong. Also, we're going to have a frame on the outside where we're going to get into that. I hope we're going to get into that this week. Because I'm going to try my best to be out here every day. The thing where I'm going to run into a problem is getting the body off of the car. But I may change the order of operations and go ahead and get these frame rails made to go underneath the rocker panels. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to make the frame rails go into the rocker panels. Then I may need some more steel. I can go ahead, if I can get the frame rails and the rocker panels lined up, and then I can make the frame to go from, that goes under the rocker down to the frame. Yeah, that actually kind of makes more sense than the way I had planned on doing this in my mind. So, guys, when you get into it, sometimes you have to change on the fly. I'm changing on the fly. If I had a lift that I could lift this off, or some way, I did get some some chain. I did get some block and tackle, a chain hoist, sky hook, whatever you want to call it. I got two of them. The ceiling in the shop won't hold this body up, and I kind of kicked around the idea about running some 2x6s across, but I had to run 16-foot 2x6s, and I still don't know if it would hold it, and this body probably don't weigh but 300 pounds, so, maybe it would, but I don't want to take that chance. So anyway, we'll be back tomorrow, and I think we're going to, like I said, to me it makes the most sense to go ahead and build these pieces under the rockers, get them welded to the chassis, and then we can, then we're going to be set, so we'll be back. Okay guys, I'm going to stop that video right there. I recorded that video before I started doing the cabinets and trying to clean the shop. I'm going to focus on getting the shop clean, but I needed to get a Friday video out and wasn't quite far enough along on this video to go ahead and post that video for Friday. So Sunday you will get the cabinet video. I may not do a Friday video next week at all, but I do have an idea for a talk about it. And that's it, y'all. Like and subscribe. We'll get back on this Volkswagen. Sometime I'm shooting to have the shop totally in better shape. Maybe not great, but better shape by September. We'll get back on the Volkswagen in September and get this chassis squared away. And we have got a lot of work ahead of us. We're going to have to change the suspension. The bag mounts are going to have to go down 2 inches. The front suspension is probably going to be completely changed on the car. We'll get into that later. The axle is going to stay where it's at, but the lift part, the bags and stuff, is probably going to change. So anyway, that's it. I'll see y'all on Sunday.